Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a bit of a chit chat type video. Actually, okay, so the reason why I'm sitting down filming this video is because I get a lot of you sort of coming to me for advice about a lot of things. I get a lot of you like on Snapchat always messaging me on Instagram and all that sort of stuff, and just, you know, asking me for advice and that sort of stuff, and I absolutely love it, and I love that you guys trust me with those kind of things. And recently there's been a lot of sort of boy advice. I guess people sort of ask me because, number one, I'm probably a lot older. You know, some of the girls asking me, a lot of them are sort of still teens, still in school, all that sort of stuff. And number two, I've been in a sort of long-term relationship, I'd call it. It's been over 2 years, so I thought I would sit down and just film a video about boys pretty much, and relationships, and, you know, just boy talk in general, because I think this would help out a lot more people than just those who are brave enough to just ask. And yeah, I just want to say, like, thank you to everyone who always, like, you know, asks me stuff, even if it's just a quick Snapchat message and all that sort of stuff. I absolutely love interacting with you guys, and I don't know, it's just really great that you feel like you've got a friend and you can come to me. I know it's a lot harder with a lot of other YouTubers because you feel like you want to talk to them and you feel like you know them because you're watching their videos all the time, but they do have such a large following, and so you can never get through to them. You can never just message them and just be like, hey, this is bothering me, I feel like you could help me. But whereas I'm sort of in between, so, you know, I'm not receiving like thousands and thousands of messages all the time, like, you know, so I just get like here and there a few, and so I always just like, I love responding to everyone. And yeah, people are always like, oh my god, I love how you reply to all your comments on your videos. Why wouldn't I? It takes 5 minutes out of my day, and I absolutely love interacting with you guys. So I'm just going to stop talking and we're going to go straight into the video. So the first thing I want to sort of touch base on is girls always ask, and I know even if you don't ask, it's always on your mind, because it used to be on my mind all the time. How do I pick up a boy? Or how do I get a guy to notice me? Or how do I get a guy to like me, and that sort of thing. And I think we've all been in that boat where we really want to like get someone's attention, but we don't know how. The number one like bit of advice that I would offer to you is don't sell yourself cheap. And that is because if you're going to sell yourself cheap and you're just going to make yourself look easy, then yes, that guy might just jump straight onto you, but they don't want you for the right reasons. They honestly just want to jump onto you because they just want to, you know, root and boot or something like that. And it's just not the type of guy you want to attract. And I know a lot of girls sort of get attracted to fuck boys, as they call it, and then they go and complain that, you know, this boy is not treating them right and they're doing this and this. Well, you kind of like, what did you expect? To be honest, like, just, yeah, like, what did you expect from that situation? So yeah, that's the first thing. Like, don't sell yourself short. I remember when I was younger and I was single, I was always, you know, you go through that stage where you think like having your boobs pushed up and, you know, taking pics of your boobs out is going to get the right attention. It really doesn't. And then I learnt for myself, we all have to learn it. Like, we all go through that stage. You learn that the right people like you for the right reasons. The type of boys that like you for your boobs are not the type of boy that you want to be dating, you know? Like, that's just like... So yeah, don't sell yourself short. I know, like, you know, if you're trying to get a guy's attention, say you are going to, I don't know, you're going out to a party or clubbing or whatever, and the guy that you are trying to get his attention, he will be there too. Don't go dressing like a slut and having your boobs out and your ass hanging out and all that sort of stuff. Don't do that, because if you do that and that does take his attention, then he's the wrong type of guy for you, honey. And, you know, just dress really nice, dress classy. You can dress a little bit, like, you can always dress sexy. Like, there's nothing wrong with dressing sexy, showing a bit of cleavage, showing your body off, you know, showing your legs. Nothing wrong with that at all. But don't make yourself look cheap, make yourself look nice and classy and just pretty. Don't make yourself look like someone who's just, trust me, no. And you know, if the guy gets your attention this way, then great. And if he doesn't, then you just know that he's not the type of guy that is worth your time whatsoever. Trust me. Another thing that, you know, girls always ask is, how do I talk to a boy? So say a boy is like starting to talk to you and you don't want to blow it because like you've gotten so far, you're talking to each other, you don't want to blow it. The number one thing I have to say, and I know a lot of people say it, but I feel like nobody does it, is play hard to get. Ugh, most important thing ever. Now when I say play hard to get, I don't mean be stuck up and just be like, I'm too good for you, like all that stuff. No, nobody's gonna want to talk to you. But play hard to get in a way, be sweet, be nice, be kind, be polite, flirt every now and then, not too much, but still make yourself really hard to get, because any boy, ask any boy, likes a chase, trust me. And same with girls, like, you know, you're not gonna want a boy that is just leaping in like that. Like, you want to chase as well. I know from my personal experience, the guys that were literally throwing themselves at me, I was just like, oh, just back off, like just leave me alone, you're annoying. Like, I just know that from self-experience. And the boys that were like really hard to get and would barely talk to you were the ones that I was like, talk to me. So it's weird how that works, but seriously, like, you don't want to be like a stuck-up bitch and not talk to them and think you're too good. Don't do that at all, because then they're gonna think you're a stuck-up bitch. But definitely do play hard to get. Don't just throw yourself at a guy, because the same thing, you'll just attract the wrong attention. And yeah, if you're just throwing yourself at them, then they're not gonna care. And I know a lot of my friends do this as well, and I try to tell them, but they don't listen. So please listen to me, because you know, when you start talking to a guy and you just like that, and you literally just throw yourself at him, and you just like, you know, you add him on Facebook, you add him on Snapchat, you follow him on Instagram, like all his pics all the time, do all this stuff, talk to him, like sending him paragraphs at a time, and you only just started talking, he's gonna be like, whoa, this girl is like, she's too keen, too clingy, get away. No. So don't do that, trust me. There's also like a lot of things that I see around, and I just thought I would quickly mention this, and we're all girls here, so it's not like it's gonna be awkward, well, mostly girls anyway. But I see a lot of girls posting like they're getting pressured into like sexual stuff. Honestly, if a boy wants to be with you, I think when you first start speaking to a guy, first start seeing them, whatever, you set down your ground rules. If you want to go do that with them, go for it, not judging you. But don't lower yourself for a guy because you're scared they're going to leave you. If you tell them, no, I'm not doing anything with you until 3 months or until I'm married, whatever you believe in, and if they respect that, then great, and if they don't, then bye-bye. Because honestly, do not lower yourself in that way just to please a guy sexually, because if you do, then he's just, you know, he's not going to respect you. And that's the number one thing with guys, is it's a mutual respect thing. You can't, you know, you can't just, you know what I mean. Just don't let yourself get pressured into that sort of stuff, being like, oh, you know, he won't talk to me anymore if I don't do that. He'll leave me if I don't do that. Fine, let him, because he's not worth your time. I know from my experience, I never like gave in to even kiss a boy ever. Like, I would never even, after like, I remember in my party days, like, I was that type of girl that like I would just go there and I would have fun and I would dance, and I would just dance with my girlfriends, I would dance with some boys, whatever, but I would never ever let them anything more. No, I would never let them touch me, I'll never let them kiss me. No, you can piss off, that's not what I'm here for, darling. And you should be like that too, because honestly, you need to have like dignity for yourself and respect for yourself to be like, no, I'm better than that kind of thing, and I'm not going to sell myself short in that way. And trust me, you'll be proud of it, because I definitely am. But I know a lot of you girls are young and you're only just like starting out with boys and all that sort of stuff, and believe me, it is a good feeling to know where you stand, have some dignity and a respect level for yourself, and just don't sell yourself short in that kind of way, because any guy that is worth it and that cares about you and loves you will wait for you. Simple as that. So those are just the kind of things that I wanted to touch base on a little bit, and then I also have some questions that you guys sent to me on Snapchat and Instagram as well. I'm not going to say names or anything because I don't want because these are quite personal things. I don't want anyone to feel embarrassed or anything. Someone said to me on Instagram, "My boyfriend always likes and comments on other girls' photos. What do I do? Am I overreacting because it makes me really angry?" I think that's a hard one because a lot of people would say there's nothing wrong with it, at least he's not cheating on you, blah blah blah. In my opinion, why the fuck is your boyfriend liking and commenting on other girls' photos when he has a girlfriend? That's just, find that a bit strange. If my boyfriend went around liking and commenting on girls' pics, I would probably chop his penis off. I'm just crazy like that, you know. But each their own. If this was personally me, I would tell him to stop and I would just question him why. But a big thing with guys is if you go and yell at them for something and you just go, "Why are you liking these girls' photos? Why are you doing this? Blah blah, stop doing that." They're not going to listen to you. It's you need to be strategical with boys. You need to ask them nicely and you need to put it in a nice way and not feel like you're attacking them, because once boys feel like they're attacked, they're just going to rage back at you. That's one thing I've definitely learned. So you need to do it calmly. First ask him why he's doing it and just sort of, take it as a slow try to be nice about it approach. I know it's really hard too when it annoys you. But yeah, just figure out why he's doing it. Give him a chance. If he stops doing it, great. If he keeps going, I will tell him, you keep doing something that is making me feel uncomfortable and I don't like it. So, then you obviously have something to really think about because he obviously doesn't care about your feelings. Someone else said, "I think I've recently fallen for a fuckboy. How do I know if he really is one or not?" Look, I don't know because I haven't really had any experiences with them myself. But what what my guess would be, if you'd know, is number one, he's talking to a million other girls at once, not just you. I think if a good boy is going to be loyal, he needs to be loyal to you from the start, before you were even dating. I remember before me and Alex started dating, for the longest time when we were just sort of friends and then we're sort of seeing each other for a little bit, I don't really know what it was. But even that whole time we were kind of talking, I don't think he wasn't interested in other girls and he wasn't talking to any other girls really. Obviously he had his girl mates and I had my guy mates that we still sort of talk to, but I think if you're really interested in someone, then you won't be interested in other people at the same time. So I think that's a big one. And another thing as well, you would know, what sort of things they do. If they go out to the clubs all the time and hang out with girls, and if they don't really make an effort to see you all the time, they always blow you off and all that sort of stuff, that's just huge signs. But as I said, I don't personally know. I know a lot of the time fuckboys will be the type of guys who will say to you from the start, "I don't want a relationship, I don't want any strings attached." And I've heard a lot of stories about this sort of stuff. That girls have been led on and they think that there is a chance because the boy is just giving them signals that there can be a chance, and then there's really not, and then they just get heartbroken. So I think there are a few signs. I think I think I could definitely spot one if I was talking to a guy, and I feel like you would just know straight away. You would just know by looking at their Instagram page, let's be honest. Someone just asked, how do you manage to stay in such a strong relationship? I think that's a really good question. Thank you for sending that one in. I think the main sort of things are, number one, you each have to have your own life. I think when couples are too involved with each other, they get sick of each other and they fight and they get on each other's nerves. Having two separate lives is a really great thing, and that's why Me and Alec don't mind living so far apart from each other because we get our own lives apart, and then on the weekends we can come and see each other, miss each other, and have a lot to talk about with each other. I know when we lived with each other one day, it'll be the same type of thing because we'll both have our own work life. I'm a very, very work orientated type of gal. I'm very busy and I like to keep busy on me with myself. And I like to do everything myself. And then I like to just come together, you know, it'll be great when we can just come together at night and just talk about our days and whatever. And that's, yeah, so it's really important to have your own life, not evolve everything around each other. Another thing is to just be really trusting with one another. I know a lot of relationships lack trust, and it's a really important thing that you can have that confidence in yourself to be like, well, you know, my boyfriend's out with the boys tonight having some drinks, whatever. And just to have that feeling like I know I trust him and I know he'll never do anything wrong kind of thing, and just not be on his back every 2 seconds about him doing something wrong because I just know he's not going to do it. And I know that tears a lot of relationships apart because people are too controlling and don't let one another do certain things, and it's just, yeah, definitely a key to a strong relationship. And another thing is just be able to feel each other in. I know me and Alec, we clash a lot of the time because we're both very strong energies and we're both very stubborn and all that type of thing. But at the end of the day, you just have to compromise for one another and just make things work and just feel each other in like little puzzles and just, you know, make each other happy. And one of the most important things I always tell Alec, I'm like, you need to love yourself before you expect someone else to love you. So, you know, if you're not confident in yourself and you don't love yourself, you can't expect someone else to love you. You know, it's just how it is. So if you are content and you love yourself and you're happy with who you are, then someone else can love you for who you are. And yeah, I think it's just a really, really important thing to just feel each other in and just love each other. And yes, that just got really cheesy there, but it's important, okay? I'm gonna read one more question out to you guys because I've been filming for 20 minutes now and I've done a lot of talking, so I'm just gonna answer one last question. So someone said, how and where do I meet guys? I feel like for the life of me, I can never find anyone and I've been searching for years. This is a hard one because when you first think of it, you think, oh, to meet guys, I'm going to go to the club or whatever. You don't want to be meeting your boyfriend at a club, because I feel like that's just not the type of place where a lasting relationship is going to come out of. But really, there is no specific place and there's no specific how to do it. Boys just come along. I remember I was single for the longest time and I'd never had a boyfriend in my life. And I remember actually on New Year's Eve, like this was years ago, on New Year's Eve, my New Year's resolution was stop looking for a boyfriend. I don't want a boyfriend anymore. I'm just gonna enjoy being single. And that night, literally on New Year's Eve, right after I said that, I met Alec again, and we had already like met and talked and stuff months before, but then we just like lost contact with each other. And then that night on New Year's Eve, we were at the same beach and we just bumped into each other again. And then we started talking again, and that's where our relationship came from. So it's such a coincidence that right after I said that happened and I got a relationship out of it. But yeah, I think you just got to stop looking and you've got to stop forcing it, and it'll just come along when the right time is. And guys will come in and out of your life and they will either work or they won't, and that's just life. And you learn your lessons and stuff. Oh, I just cracked my finger. And they all teach you lessons, and they're just going to come at the weirdest, unexpected times. You're going to meet them in the weirdest places. So yeah, I don't really have a direct answer for that, but just get out more. Like I remember, you know, that's how I always met guys, just going out with your friends, meeting friends through other friends. And you never meet guys at the club. Trust me, that never happens. Or at parties, like, no, the wrong type of guys maybe, but you know, the proper ones, like just go hang out with your friends, like friends with friends, go out for drinks, go out for dinners, whatever. Socialize with the type of people that you would want to date. Like that's weird, but if you want to date someone mature and classy and that sort of stuff, hang out with those kind of people. Don't go hanging out with someone, you know, someone immature that just likes to party, because you're not going to find someone like that around someone like that, you know. So I feel like I'm actually losing my voice now because I've been talking for so long. So yeah, I'm going to go now. I hope you guys enjoyed this sort of chilled out type of video. I hope I gave you some sort of advice from like my experiences, and I hope I answered your questions well. If you have any more relationship or boy advice kind of questions, do feel free to leave them down below and I'll be happy to answer them. If you do want to send me a message privately, I'll put my Snapchat name and my Instagram on my screen, and you can always look me up on Facebook, send me a Facebook message, whatevs. I'm always here for you guys. I'm always a friend for you, because I know how it feels to have not really anyone to talk to. Since I don't know you guys, I can't judge you, so no judgment over here whatsoever. So yeah, I'm gonna go. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in my next video. Wait, what? Yeah, I'll see you all in my next one. Bye!